Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Namaste, Guruji.
So today we are we have this auspicious occasion of Guru Purnima, also called Vyasa Purnima. Puja Swamiji used to, when he talks, generally he will say, we have Mother's Day, we have Father's Day, and long before all this Mother's Day and Father's Day came about, we had what is called Guru's Day. Today is Guru's Day. And there is a meaning for that. There is a significance for that. That's how we ended up with Teachers' Day in India. Although Teachers' Day is celebrated for another, celebrating teachers, which is good. That whole respect for teachers and an attention given to teachers comes only in our parampara. Any parampara where jnanam is prized. Every culture it is there, but you need a different mindset for that. So here we have an interesting situation. If you look at any knowledge, wherever teaching is involved, if you know something, you don't need to know it. If you don't know something, you cannot know it. But no, you see, the human mind says, no, I will know it. I want to know it. Good. So somehow you have to go from I don't know to I know. And that is always incremental. It's always incremental, you know a little bit. Then you, based on that, you study a little more, you know a little bit. Then you solve some problems, and then you get better at it. Then you go to the next section. Then you go to the next chapter. Then you go to the next book. Then you go to the next grade. Okay. This is how it works. All knowledge gaining works like this. Incrementally, it works. But here, the knowledge that we are talking about is not something that is to be gained incrementally. Okay, that's why we can't offer degrees in Advaita Vedanta and all. Not possible. Why? Because it's not incremental knowledge. This is the knowledge of the whole. Knowledge of the one and only. Ekameva Advitiyam. So this incremental work will not possible. So incremental means finite to finite to finite to finite to finite. So your resume also grows accordingly for those who are in their professions. But here, it's not like that. As Yamadharmaraja had said in Kathopanishad, Naisha Tarkena Matirapaneya. I can't use my intellect to go from finite to infinite. Not possible. Finite to finite, you don't need Shastram. Or you can use a Shastram for all this Artha and Kama pursuits. More wealth, more security, more family, etc. Okay, Veda is available for us. That is also finite to finite pursuit only. But the pursuit of moksha is not finite to finite. It is finite to infinite. Why, Guruji? Why infinite? I am very happy. I'm a very satisfied person. I live I live a frugal life. I don't need much at all. I don't need much at all. It's good. If you don't need much, it's a very good thing. Very, very good thing. Life becomes simpler. Life is easier. You can focus on the Shastram. Only the guy who is making his life simple can study Shastram. Otherwise, how? So that's a prerequisite. That's a prerequisite. We're not trying to manage samsara. We are trying to find a solution to samsara. Everything else comes under the category of managing samsara. So Vedanta is not about management of samsara. It is about fundamental understanding the realities of what's what. This is what we've been studying all these years. And so, that person who can take another person from the knowledge of the finite to the knowledge of the infinite, which is an entirely different subject. Essentially, that person is performing a miracle, correct? It's a miracle. It's turning all, what do you call that? Again, Kathopanishad, Paranchikani, all sense organs and mind turned outward. We're very good at external knowledge. That's why WhatsApp is very interesting. WhatsApp is very addictive. Addictive because there's so much to know. And you find something. Somebody says you use lemon juice in this particular way, cancer can be cured. Now tell me what you will do. Tell me what you will do. You can't keep quiet because you feel like sharing it. How can you're not selfish. We are all not selfish people. We are very good at sharing what we know. And if you can cure cancer by lemon juice, you should share it, correct? That is what a good human being is. So we are all good human beings. So immediately we share it. But then that desire to know has to be converted to desire to know the self. Everything else is in the anatma category. And now Shastram is the one that is turning our vision inwards and saying, you have to know yourself. So that's why this miracle, it's a type of a miracle indeed. So that miracle is attributed to a person who in our culture we call as a guru. So the definition of a guru is Mahavakya Upadesha Karta. The word guru is used for many instances because it is such a loaded word. It has no translation, and so it gets borrowed from our shastra. So, investment guru, stock market guru, and then this is a guru, management guru. They say management guru means he's a motivational speaker. He talks to CEOs. He's not a CEO, but he will talk to CEOs. Listen to this person. That means he's some kind of guru. So like that they use the word guru. But for us, Mahavakya Upadesha Karta. Karta. One who does something is a Karta. What kind of job he does? Upadesha Karta. Upadesha means teaching. One who teaches. One who teaches means so many teachers in this world. Everybody is a guru. Well, Mahavakya Upadesha Karta. One who teaches the Mahavakyam. Mahavakyam is any statement in the Shastram which equates the Jiva to Ishvara, which removes Dvaita Buddhi in our mind. Dvaita is natural. Dvaita is natural. Without Dvaita, you can't survive. You can't survive. Proper Dvaita Buddhi is needed. I should know what is what. I should know what's what. I should know where my house is. I should know where my friends' houses are. I should know who my relationships are. Everything I should know. Only then some normal transactions can take place. And beyond that, I should know a little more also. Nutrition means I have to be a little more cautious. Among all these foods, which foods are better, which vegetables and fruits are better. If I'm a diabetic, which fruits I should avoid, that also I should know. Mango season in Coimbatore. Big mangoes are coming. Banganapalli, Hyderabad, this mango, Neelam mango. Like this, so many mangoes are there. So attractive it is. Some people can only watch. They can only watch all this. And so that is knowledge is required. That kind of jnanam is required. But in this case, so that is all Dvaita jnanam, Dvaita buddhi. You need to have a lot of Dvaita buddhi in order to have a reasonably stable, sane life. But then here we are talking about Advaita buddhi. To take a person from a deeply entrenched Dvaita buddhi to Advaita jnanam is definitely something in our tradition, thankfully, It has been preserved. We've been receiving it also. And so in this in this particular tradition, the teaching is given, and the teaching is such that the person who is teaching is, of course, called a guru, and guru gets a lot of respect, all right. Okay, any teacher gets respect, and the our Shastra Guru also gets a lot of respect, all right. But this is such a unique teaching where the teacher teaches about the subject Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya, and at the end of the Brahma Vidya, the teacher himself, herself will say means it is part of the teaching that you know what, there is really no Guru, there is really no Shishya. That is the type of teaching it is. Na bandhur, na mitram, na gurur naiva shishyaha. Only the Guru, Mahavakya Upadeshakarta can say this. Nobody else can say it confidently. Guru is just a temporary role. You are playing Shishya role, I am playing Guru role. Like that, only a Guru can say. And say it and mean it also, not simply. It's all mithya. Like that, the Guru can come and say. And that is important because in our life, all relationships, the relationships are important, and good relationships is a big blessing. To have a good relationship in a and a good family is a great blessing. And we realize it only when things don't work out properly. And everything is you're hitting a wall every time. Father mother relationship, husband wife relationship, son daughter relationship, so critical it is. And all lifelong we live with this. And we pray that these relationships are good. But then, even the good relationships that are there, they end up creating an attachment in me and creating a bondage. And they also I become dependent on my relationships. So dependent, I don't realize until things happen, unexpected things happen. Then only I realize how dependent I am, and I don't know what to do about this dependence. This is life. And then I just accept what happens. And so therefore those relationships, they can only entrench attachments, they can only deepen attachments. Great relationship, great family, but I have to be aware that that attachment, that great family can also be a trap. It can be a great boon for me, great blessing for me. How did I use my relationships? Did I help others, and in the process did I help myself grow up or not? If the answer is yes, great. Otherwise, it can become a trap. Trap. In this type of situation, the Guru Shishya relationship is crucial. It's a sacred relationship. Why? It is like every other relationship, but it is unlike every other relationship. It is like because it is also a relationship. Unlike because it is only relationship which will free me from the trap of relationships. Correct? Can we say that? Can we say that? Because finally, Guru will say that once a teaching becomes clear, then I will appreciate it, no doubt. Guru will not be dependent on Shishya. If a Guru that is highly dependent on Shishyas, we have to ask what is going on. Physical dependence, we are not talking. We are talking about emotional dependence. And so that the teacher, the person is able to communicate as part of a teaching. And so that sacred relationship, which can take me out of all dependencies, relationship dependencies, including the Guru dependency, is this sacred relationship. And so that is why we have all these Guru Stotrams. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva. Why would you call somebody mother and father? Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva. Tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva also. You are my friend also. Tvameva vidya. Quietly vidya comes. And then Dravidam, all things, all my positions, all the greatest positions you are. These kinds of funny statements you will find only in our Shastra. Only our Shastra. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. Tell me how. You don't look at Vishnu and say, Hey Shiva. You don't chant Dakshinamurti Stotram while looking at Shiva. When you go to a Shiva temple, you don't chant Vishnu Sahasranamam, do you? Why? Because this is Shiva. He has his own favorite shlokas I will chant. So every Vishnu is different from Shiva, is different from Brahma. Who is Vishnu is different from Lakshmi, different from Saraswati, is different from this. But here you say, Twameva Mata Chapita, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. Everything you are. That's the beauty. That's the beauty. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma. That is because when the teaching keeps developing, when the teaching happens, then what happens? The message becomes very important, and the messenger is very important, of course, because the messenger, only this messenger can get the message out. Okay. And but then the message trumps. The message trumps over everything else. It trumps over all the statuses of Guru, Shishya, and Mata, Pita, and all that. And even God also it trumps. Therefore, now what happens? This person who is teaching becomes equal to Brahmaji, Vishnu, and Shiva, and so forth. And especially the person is teaching about Brahman, that Vastu Brahma, which is Brahma Mokate, which is Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma. Only thing that is there is Brahma. So it is as though the teacher is not different from Brahma, which is the truth. And therefore, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma. A massive thing it is. It is not simply some poetic stuff. I respect my Guru, therefore I treat him as God. No, no, that is okay. That is fine. But I'm not talking beyond that, beyond respect. Beyond respect. Tattvam. That's how the Tattvam works. So, therefore, we worship our Guru, no doubt. There is Guru Sthanam is Pradhana Sthanam in our culture. Pradhana Sthanam. Because now the Gurus, this teacher is not an ordinary teacher. It's not like a school teacher or a college professor. Because the professor has a book and then they will communicate certain things and then they have to. Even there, you need a lot of skill. There also, you need a lot of skill to take you from one finite to make you know a little bit more than that, little bit more. Then push you a little bit more, push you out a little bit. So like that, the professor does. Every teacher does that. Teaching is absolutely amazing. It requires a lot of creativity, not simply knowledge of the subject, but the ability to communicate something. And that's why good teachers are hard to come, hard to come. Simply reading a textbook in a class, well, just absolutely wrong. And we have to change our system. This exam-based system is all ruining our children and simply making them memorize, making them write exam after exam after exam. And then they come out, they're so stressed out by the time they're in 10th grade, 11th grade. So that we have to just think differently. We have to ask what kind of country we want, what kind of future we want to give our children. This question we have to ask, we have to push our governments to do something and think differently. So let that be. What I meant is for that teaching itself, school teaching, college teaching itself, so much skill is required, so much creativity is required. The teacher has to think why the student is not able to understand what I said. Why? Everybody is understanding, but you don't understand. She don't. There's a group that doesn't understand. Means what? That means instead of blaming the student, the teacher has to say, "Wait a minute. I have to find another way to say it." Another way to say it. So many teachers are there in class here also. Educationists are there. You all know so much about pedagogy and how to enliven the minds of the children and students. So much research is still going on. But once a person means the teacher, understands that aspect, then the person will just give up all the books. Give up means what? Now the person knows I have to now do something very different, and I have to make the children not only learn but enjoy what they learn. See how important it is. The student has to love to come to class. I want to go to school. I cannot miss my physics class or English class. Why? I love it. Where does the love come from? English itself will not give the love. The teacher is the one who gives that love. Through the teacher, the love for subjects happens. What a beautiful thing it is. So for us, Veda Vyasa, Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullaravinda Yatapatra Netra. So the Vyasa Maharaj is just too much. I mean, to say he itself, I'm feeling so shy. Editor of all the Vedas. Means you have to know all the Vedas and then you decide how to edit it. Edit means how to place it, how to organize it, and call one as Rigveda, call one as Yajurveda, etc. So that all of us could maintain one Veda. His assumption is that one Veda you can maintain, one family can maintain. Maintain means teach, study and teach, understand and teach, propagate. So that's the magnum opus right there. Then you have, he is the author of Puranas, not one Purana, 18 Puranas he has written. Has come from the mind of Vyasa. The other day I was looking at somebody sent some information about how large the Puranas are. And some Puranas are small. And this Skanda Purana is huge. Huge. Maybe even 100,000 shlokas or more. I don't know. So it was just too huge. And so that came out of the mind of Vyasa. Purana. Purana is important for every child to know, to connect with the whole through stories. Bhagavan Leelas through stories is the best way to connect with Bhagavan. So Harishchandra Purana, you hear, the child will just get lost in the world of Shiva and worship and truth. Satyam values, and then that value he will hang on to that value. So this Vyasa created all these Puranas. On top of that, he wrote what is called Brahma Sutram. When we study Brahma Sutram, we really understand who Vyasa is and what is possible. 580 sutras, which systematically demonstrate what the Shastram is actually trying to say. Look at that. Veda is written, Puranas is written. Now somebody comes and says, what exactly does the Vedas say? Means so much analysis because interpretations are possible. So Veda Vyasa does that. Athato Brahma Jignasa and so forth. So it's just the Vyasa is in our parampara is very big. Namaste Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Vinda Yatapatra Netra Madhusudara Saraswati writes on. And so we worship that Guru Parampara through Veda Vyasa. Veda Vyasa is common to all paramparas, whether you are Advaita, Dvaita, or Vishishta Advaita, or any other parampara, Veda Vyasa is common. But other Shankaracharyas, etc., there are different Shankaracharyas. But Veda Vyasa is common. And so So therefore, Veda Vyasa becomes a link for us in this chain, in this parampara that's been handed over generation after generation. And we use this day today to recall that tradition, why that tradition is important, why they say Guru. You in India, you go anywhere. If you use the word Guru, then suddenly the attitude changes. आपके गुरु आ रहे हैं आपके घर में Guru. Guru means suddenly whole thing changes, and then the way in which you respond to the person, everything changes. So that Veda Vyasa being remembered, Chaturmasya Vratam, that is how it is celebrated by sannyasis during this time. They're supposed to be parivrajakas. All sannyasis are supposed to be itinerant. I think that's a word for itinerant means you have to keep moving from place to place. They're not supposed to stay at one place, technically. But during this Chaturmasya, means it's 2 months, August, September, rainy season time for him. Because of all these insects and all that are there, they don't want to hurt them. And so the insects are required for the proper growth of vegetation and for their own well-being. And so they decide to sit at home. Sit at home is what? There is no home. Sit in one place, camp in one place. And that is Chaturmasya Vratam. One sannyasi called me. I mean, to get a call from a sannyasi is what a blessing it is. Somehow we met somewhere, and he's in Uttarkashi in a small place. He said, Jaikumar, I've started my Chaturmasya Vratam, like that he said. His Anushtanam and Patanam, study, self-study, and other sadhanas, dhyanam, all day for 2 months. That's what he is doing. So that's how it is celebrated by sannyasis. We celebrate it in many ways also, such as by listening to the Shastram, by doing Vyasa Puja. Vyasa Puja is there. There is an Ashtottara Shata Namamali. You can do an elaborate puja. Or we chant shlokas which associate us to Veda Vyasa. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave. How nicely it is coming in the Dhyana shloka of Vishnu Sahasranama. So there in that shloka, they look at Vyasa as Sakshat Vishnu, Vishnu Swarup. So in school, I had studied as Doha. Guru Gobind do khade kake lago paaye. Balihari Guru apne Govind diyo milai. Some words I may have missed, but the idea is this. What an imagination, Kabir Das. Guru and Bhagavan are just knocking on the door. Both of them have come to you, to your home. And you have recognized both. Oh, he's Guru and she's God, Bhagavan. Now you have to do Namaskar. Who will you do Namaskar to first? What an imagination. And he says, of course it is going to be my Guru to whom I will do Namaskar. Kyonki, Kyonki. How do you know? How could you recognize Devata, Bhagavan and all? भगवान तो या आंखों को नहीं दिखता है. They are not visible to eyes. But you are saying Bhagavan has come means what? Hey, that is because Guru is the one who made me open that eyes. Ajnana timirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya. And therefore I could even recognize Bhagavan came. Otherwise, what will happen? कौन है आप? क्या है ये? क्या kind of what kind of dress is this? You have crown and peacock feather and all. Oh, आप कुछ ड्रामा में आज कुछ कृष्ण का कुछ ड्रामा है? नाटक है? That's what I'll ask. Where is your ID card and all? I'll ask. So the fact that I can say Bhagavan has come is only because of Guru. So he says, therefore I will do Namaskar to Guru first. Like that Kabir Das says. Very beautiful. So with that, With those words, I wanted to just recall the greatness of Veda Vyasa and our Guru Parampara. And I thank you for the opportunity to giving me the opportunity to share. So we'll conclude today's session with that. And after this, we will we'll have our usual Mundaka Bhashyam class. Om Vyasaya Vishnurupaya Vyasarupaaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha. Thank you.